So always read my writing. If you see cut 1, that means most likely your back is on the fold. And then if your front say cut 2, that means the opening is in the front. I'm making more sets so when you guys come and trace, you will have more to flow around the class. Okay, so trace your front and trace the front and the back on a single piece of paper.
Oops, sorry.
And for this style, the page is on 92 and then 93.
What is this one?
Armhole Princess. Armhole Princess. Armhole Princess. So first thing you want to do is draw in your bust point to the dart notch. Draw that in. And when you trace, make sure you punch the bust point one. Don't worry about the dart point or the punch hole because we're not using that. We're closing. We're closing so. So we did that. Trace it. Draw in your dart.
Can I see? Okay.
Okay. After that, we're going to put a straight line somewhere in the armhole area. So that's where we're going to make the princess line. When you make princess line, it's getting rid of the dart. You eliminate the dart, it's going to become seam instead of having a dart on your design. So what you can do is decide where you want the seam to hit. See, the princess line is from here, armhole, go all the way to the bust area. This one, like this. If the princess, this is princess line, this is a regular classic princess line. The armhole, instead of having the line here, instead of having the line up here, we're going to move it to the armhole. So that line is going to go from here, curve back to there. So we're trying to find a point where we want that to sit. You don't want to sit too low to the underarm, or you don't want to sit too high by your shoulder area.
So it's just kind of
Let me see, I'm doing it about, I marked it 7/8 above the armhole notch. Here's my armhole notch. I mark 7/8 up and I draw a straight line connect to the bust point.
So from the bust point, 7 1/8 from the
7/8.
7/8. Okay.
So now we are going to cut them out. Mine is a little bit different from the book because the book, the block that they gave you is different. I use a 1 dart front. This is a 2 dart front. So that's the only thing it changed, that it looks different. Because we don't have this block, and I don't want you guys to trace more block than you need to. Same concept, but it just you need to trace that. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut the line, get rid of the dart, and then cut that line that we drew. Cut the dart out. Cut that line, the new armhole line. Cut that and then get rid of the dart. So you're going to have, this is the front and this is the side. The next step is blending. So we're going to put the front, center front on a folded piece of paper. See how I don't put any seam allowance until I'm pretty much after we're done. So I don't want to, oh, I don't even cut the other part out until after we're putting seam allowance in. So I tape that on fold, tape this down. So next step is this curve. I'm just going to blend it. I'm just going to get a nice soft blend. You can use your hip curve to do this. I'm just going to blend this.
Are you what's the point of that?
Just, you don't want a very pointy.
I need to keep that rude.
It's okay. You don't want anything pointy unless purposely you want a point. If you have a point, that means you have to sew as a point. You know how you have, when you sew a point, you have the needle down, you have the cut, you get a point. So you have a curve, it's easier to sew, it's softer. So you want to do a little blend soft, just do a little soft, a little curve to soften it up. Okay, so then on your side front, you're gonna tape that on another piece of paper. And you can just tape it on just a single piece of paper. You can ask. I always have a reason why I'm doing something. What's the point? Because I always have a reason. Okay, most of the time, but I do have a reason. So take another piece of paper. Before we do that, we're gonna add a little ease to, you know how we kind of soften up this? This point is really pointy. We're gonna put a little ease in between. At that bust point here, we're going to draw a straight line. This is straight, pretty straight. We're going to draw a straight line, a bust point. Draw a line.
So draw a line at the
yeah. This is your side seam, so I did a straight line across to the bust point. And I'm going to cut from the bust point to the side seam at that, and stop at the side seam. So I cut this, and then I stop at the side seam. So I cut it here, and I stop it. On the outside of that, I'm going to slash, I'm going to go in and cut it, meeting it, and having a little piece, hopefully, still hanging, attached together, so I can open up and give a little ease. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch ease gap. I'm going to tape one part down. You can tape upper part down.
1/2 inch from where?
1/2 inch opening, like a gap.
Yeah.
So I tape the upper part down, and then I'm going to 1/2 inch
from the
ease.
top.
Yes. So I put about 1/2 inch space of ease. And then you'll tape the whole thing down now.
Is this just the front?
Yeah. This is the one. So now I have the front.
Ta-da.
And then now we're going to blend. We're going to soft blend this. See how we add a little here? Now we're going to kind of subtract that.
Do you just eyeball it?
Yeah, you want it nice and soft. Yeah, you can kind of eye it. And then we're going to walk it, make sure they match. So I just blend the curve.
Outside curve?
So I kind of subtract the top because it's too pointy if I make it too close on the top.
So in other words, you're just trying to not have that like point. You're
Because
trying
it's
to
a
make
princess line.
seam and-
Some design, you do see it pointy, but for a reason. But in a bust area, you don't want it really too pointy.
Yeah.
Unless
So you just
for a
want
reason.
smooth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you can do is walk this pattern. And if you take the seam on top of each other, seam to seam, and you can walk your, and then the bust area is going to be a little bigger. So on your side, front, it's going to be a little bigger, but we do the crimping to kind of squish it in. So what we can do is put notches on them. So you can, see here's your bust point, you can go in about 2.5 inch to put a notch on both sides. So from your bust point, we're going to go up 2.5 and we're going down 2.5 to put a notch. So when we sew, that's going to help us to walk better. So
And that's from the.
this is the center front. So
Yeah.
here's my bust point.
Okay, bust point.
I'm going to go up 2.5 to do a notch point. I'm going to go down 2.5. So I did a cross line here. So I did 2.5 up, 2.5 down. So when I walk this, so I can transfer over to my side front. I'm going to cut this down. This is really good.
You put some on it?
Not yet. After I wash them, when I know it fits, then I'll put some on. So now I can see better. So here's my line, armhole matching. And you see the notch that you did, and then you can transfer it to that. So they know they will walk. And then from the bottom, I'm going to go do the same thing. I'm going to match that up. I'm going to put a notch there. And then in between, because I know we put ease in here, it's going to be a little bigger. So I know that I'm not going to worry about. You want from here to here will match, and then from there to there match. So that's why we put it in here, so when we sew, this area we're going to do a little crimping or facing stitch, and then pull a little bit tighter and we'll fit right in here. So now the pattern is done. Then you put seam allowance after. 1/4 at the neck. And then 1/2 inch everywhere else. Make sure you transfer your notch over. And then on your side, anytime you open this line is not straight, you just take your ruler and just straighten it up. So when we slash this open, there's a space, and just keep that straight. From top to bottom, just match it. Put a straight line. Seam allowance, 1/2 inch everywhere else because the bust.
So you want to put seam allowance
After.
on that piece before you connect them?
What do you mean before I connect them?
Well, you have two separate pieces.
Well,
So,
what do you mean by connect them?
like just putting, aren't you supposed to put those together?
Well, when we sew them in fabric,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
You're not supposed to cut out separate fabric for.
Yeah, this is going to be one piece of pattern, this is going to be another.
Oh, okay, okay.
So we're not purposely, we're making it, it's
Oh,
a
so it's
design
just-
style.
It's just two pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then grain line, what you can do is you can just fold this in half,
Yeah.
and then, or, to get your grain line. I did the grain line this way, and your center front always parallel to, your grain line on your center front is always parallel to your center front. And the front is 1, so this is the front. This is, then this get a different style number because of different design than the first one that we did.
Oh, I was asking. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then here, we're going to be 2 self, and this is the side front.
So we don't connect them.
You don't connect them because if you're going to sew them, you cut it like this
Right,
way.
it's
Then
the
when
same.
you sew them,
Yeah.
it's going to be, and then of course cut them out, notch them, and all that. You don't want to actually cut
So
like this.
will this be center front and that's
Yeah, or you can just call it front, side front, and I'll call it front, or you can call it center front.
okay.
And then later we're going to do the back after. Okay. Oh, here, term vocab. So pass it around, everybody get one. That is due on week 6 somewhere.